Good evening, good afternoon. So this is a quick review of the administrative system. Okay, so here we have monthly reports. Basically, we would have various reports: daily report, weekly reports, monthly reports, yearly report. So here's this is dynamically populated, right? So we have okay, March. This for the current month. So when we go to our monthly report, it really shows the monthly report for that current month. Anytime we go to our report and click daily report, it will show report for that day. Weekly report will show report for the week. Monthly report will show report for the month, and yearly report will show report for the year. And right here now we have reports for this month of March 2024, and we can see here we have expenses with the total expenses for this month is 150,000. These are just while I was testing the input I just made, the data input. So these are not really this thing. So expenses now we have 150,000 for the expenses. Payroll, which is the salary that was paid out, of 250,000. We have our invoices. Our invoices. These are invoices that we send to our clients. Invoices that we prepare for our clients, and payment that we receive for these invoices. So they would have made part payments. They would have made payments in full. So yeah, this is the point where we get to see all those reports: payment, expenses, payroll, the rest. I also see profit. Now we can see our profit for this month is 400 and this thousand. And how do we arrive to this uh, data here? It adds the expenses, the total expenses for the month to the total payroll for the month, which are basically the expenses for the company which we have on our system for now. Then it's minus it from the total eight payments that we've received for that month, which is 800,000. Then it returns the profit. Then here we have a company growth rate, which is for the yearly reports, we have it as for the current year and previous year. On the monthly report, we have it for the current month and the previous month. Our current month here we see is March 2024 is 400 and this, and then it's 0. So the the growth rate is 100% growth rate. So that's because if we go to my table, because I don't have much data already on it, so on the table we just see uh, basically for this month you can see 00 most of, because well it's not populated like that with our real data. So for the month of February, I don't even have any record. That's why it's returned 0 naira for the month of February, and we are seeing 100% growth rate. So for different months, based on their differences in differences in in profit, we get to see the company's growth rate based on the differences in profits for each of the months. And then invoices also, as well, right here we saw the total invoices that we've prepared, total amount. And at this year is where we now have to see the pending invoices, paid invoices, partial payment invoices, due payment invoices. Okay, I think I want to implement one more thing here, adding the amount also. This way, always right here, we're only stating the number of invoices that have not been paid, the number of how can what I want to implement is that we can navigate to those invoices from here. So and also add the amount of the pending invoices and the amount of the paid invoices. So basically, this is our reports. This is how our reports look like. This is how our reports look like. Then it's basically, as a matter of fact, each and every one of our endpoints here, in one way or the other, have their reports, have some slides reports like that. So here is our project. Okay, now we are on project manager, and we're on projects now. So we can create, when we go to project, we'll see a list of the project. Now we have, these are the projects that we currently have on our database. This. We can see the name of the project, title of the project. We can see the clients that this project is attached to. We can see the status of the project. We can see the start date, the deadline. We can see the description of the project. And we can see how long it remains for the project to be, for that is expected for this project to be completed. And we can see is that this deadline is 31st. So we're expected to finish this in 2 days, 31st. That is the number of days remaining. Today is 29. The 31st should be finished. Like here now, we're expecting to finish in 06 of next month. So it's showing that it's remaining 8 days. So just that's just the way it is. And also we can see the number of tasks in this particular project. We have 4 tasks and only one task has been completed. That's why we have 25% completion completed. So this is where we create our project. On the create button, we create project, and that's where we enter all the data that we need to enter to have. I've had a demonstration with Mr. Pat. So basically, I just want to do the review. Yeah. So yeah, on the project also we have details of the project. Now we have the details of the status, the project manager, the client, the everything. They also have the expenses. Expenses is the total amount we've spent on this project. What have we spent on this project? Invoices, the invoices, how much the invoices we've sent out to the clients as this for this project, how much the invoices that we've sent out, that's the invoices. Then the payment that we have received for this particular project. Then the profit on this project is the profit that we've made on this project. So basically, the profit for a project is just the expenses minus the payment. So whatever expenses that we've made on this project minus the payment that was received for this project, we now arrive to our profit. Then we now go below, we have all our tax, and that's where we can see the status of our tax. We can also add new tax. So basically, that's so. Initially, I wanted to add a tax endpoint here, but this tax endpoint is no more needed here. Since we are bringing it into the project, so from inside the project, we are adding a new tax, and we are assigning supervisors or yes, whoever is in charge of that tax, and we are adding the tax here. We can see the details of the tax here. So this we undo the tax. We can see all the tax here and their status, if it's completed, if it's not completed. So we can do the follow up from inside this project. Then the next thing we'd like to look at is the account manager. So let's start with the invoices. So the invoices here is okay. Now I can see on our invoice table we have 3 invoices. That's because that's the total number of invoices that I have on my table that I've entered, that we have created for a project for a client. And I can see we have 3 invoices, and you can see the amount for each invoice here. And if you sum them up, you see it will arrive at this same answer here that we have here for total number of invoices. And now we have paid. We have a paid the paid invoices. The paid invoices actually gotten from our payment table. So this is basically where the payment that have been received. This way we see the total amount of payments that have been received for all our invoices. Then unpaid the balances for our invoices. So let's go to okay, let's see how we add invoice before we go into our invoices. So yeah, basically this is where we add our invoices. These are other invoices. Right here we have our company details, but this phone number will be changed to what we want to be adding there. What number we prefer to be there. This build to also will be changed. All these are just hard coded for this. Then this will be dynamic also. This will be dynamic. Invoice to will be depend on which project we are creating an invoice for. So we come here, we want to the invoice is for renovation of CEO sales project. We click on this, and automatically the client that is attached to this project will have the client details here. if we go here and click on another project, we'll have the client, because basically the whole system have each of the tables, they all have relationship among each other, so everything is linked with each other. That's why anywhere you're making a change is affecting one part of the code and one part of our system to the other part. It generally everything are just linked together like that. So yeah, we have our dynamic client details there. Then here is where we add the details of the invoice items, the quantity, the the cost, and this subtotal is automatically calculated based on the quantity and the costs. So the item description, we can also go ahead and add the item based on the total number of items, do different things on it, and we have our total here. Total here, we can also add a discount, 1% discount, and 2% discount. If you're having 100% discount, and that means it's 0%. So based on the discount we are giving us, this we also have tax. Tax, we have this one. Then 100 will just be like a double. So value, this is basically for value added. I say 7.5%. So this is basically for value added tax. So I've also had a demonstration of this with Mr. Patrick. So that's how that works. That's how that works. So the next thing is the next thing is the invoice details. So in the invoice details, we have all the details of the invoice, the items, description, the total payment, the clients, where we're paying to, total amount due for payments. So well, because here now we've received initial payment of 300,000, we can see that okay, 300,000 has been received. Balance that is remaining is 180,000. Amount due, that's the initial amount, was this. So we can always this is where we send out our invoice mail. Fill the from the from email. This invoice will be attached to it. And also we have our add payment here. Add payment is when we receive a payment. Okay, like I said, this can be done in various ways, but we are doing it manually. So payment is being received and the account is updated. Okay, we received so payment for so invoice. Then we come here and update that invoice, and with the payment that was received, the date, the payment method, and that we update the app automatically. Okay, let's just demonstrate. Maybe I should just quickly create a demonstration of 50,000, and this date, okay, and today, payment crashed. Today's payment, today's payment, right? Okay, today's payment, okay. So we click on send. That is to save the payment. Okay, now I can see payment added successfully. And now if we go to our what is it called? Now, okay, if we look at the details now, we see initially amount paid was 300,000. Now amount paid is now 350,000 because of I just received payment of 50,000 again. So it has been added to the amount paid. Then balance, which was 170,000 before, has now been reduced to 120,000 because we have received another payment of 50,000. Our amount due will still remain the same like that. So we can just send invoice for. Well, okay, we are not actually sending invoice again, but just like that. So we have the download, we have the print, we have this. Basically that's it. Okay, if we go back to the invoices now, we'll go back to the invoices. We'll notice the differences. Okay, now before initially we had a payment of 800,000. Now we have it as 850,000. Now previously I think we had 600. I can't remember. That would be 670,000 unpaid. Night has been reduced to 600. That's because everything is dynamic and everything is attached to each other. So once payment is made, our payment table is updated. Also, our invoices are updated and everything. Also, if we go back to our reports now, you see our report also have been updated. So everything is just interconnected like that. So we also have our expenses. We have our expenses. We have our expenses. Add expense. Okay, this data up there. I've left it. Okay, we'll go back. So basically this is where we add our expenses. So we have our pay. Okay, the person receiving the money, the person making the request. Then we have receipts for the proof of items gotten. So this is where we add items, and the rest and add to the table. So that is it for our add expense. Um, okay, for our expense data make. I've not considered what to place here. So for now, this but I'll update it and make create some dynamic data that will populate all these places. So that's it for our expenses. Payroll. We are not adding payroll from here or anything. Okay, okay. Yeah, there's an endpoint generates endpoint that I've created. But like I've not. I'll add it to the bottom of assets. So once we click on generate generate payroll. Yeah, generate payroll. Just like uh, demonstrated in my initial implementation. That is the first management system I created before upgrading to this. That once you click on the generate payroll, it generates pay slips, pay stubs for every employee. Our employee are under HR, yeah. So it generates pay stubs for every employee, sends it to their mail, update our payment table, update our payroll table. Our payroll table, once it's updated, accountant can see every details for every employee and make the payments. Since it's a manual system, it checks that and then makes payments for that. So basically, payroll we are not adding or doing this year. We are doing it with the endpoints that generates the pay stubs for the pay slips for the um, employees. The same thing with our payment table. Our payment table, we are not adding or doing this year. From our invoices, just like we saw when we receive payment, we receive payment and and for invoice. So for every payment, there's an invoice. So we're actually receiving payment for an invoice. That's why we're receiving the payment from our invoice. Yeah, like I said, we can do it one way or the other. We can do it this way, which is manually, or we can integrate with our bank payment gateway in such a way that their webhook calls our endpoint, then saves every data whenever payment is being made into our bank account. But since we are not using the automated process, that's why the accountant is updating our invoice payment once a payment has been received um, there. So then we go to assets. Assets are basically our assets. And if we're adding assets, this is what we have in our assets table. On our assets, we have assets name, we have assets code, we have the manufacturer condition of the asset status. Status simply shows where is the is it in the store, is it checked out, is it available? Checked out simply means that somebody collected it and went to use it at a particular location on a site for a site work for a project out for repair. So the status is there, and the whoever is collected it, details will be recorded on the table and all that, just like I demonstrated in my initial implementation. So that is that for the add new for the assets. So we just have the add new assets and we have the details for the assets. Then account expenses, payrolls, invoices, payment. Okay, basically that's what we have here. Then the next thing is our employees. Before we go to our clients, our employees now. Our employees. This is where we the HR adds employees. So basically adding employee details. Then from there, let's go to details of employee. Let's go to employee share details. Uh, Share details. So yeah, we can come over here and see the details of an employee. So here we have the details of the employee, basic information of the employee, and the address and other information of the employee over here. Then also we also have the tax that 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 are assigned to this employee. We have this updates on each on his task so that we can rate him for to rate the performance of the employee. So you can see overdue tasks, you can see pending tasks, you can see running tasks, you can see completed tasks, and you can see task completion rate. Task completion rate is the rate at which this this employee completes his tasks. Which the calculation I got this from a resources online. The calculation is completed tasks over total tax times 100. That's what gives us the completion rate, the tax completion rate of a of an employee. Also, we have the adherence to deadline. That is how good is this how fast is this employee? Does it meet up with targets? Does it complete tasks before due time? So that this calculation is here. I've not implemented it. With I want to create a card for this particular adherence to deadline. So adherence to deadline, simply the calculation is tax completed on time over total tax times 100. So that will give us, okay, how fast does this employee meet up with completing his project. So basically that's what we have for a year for at the moment. The rest tables there. I was thinking of what else I could implement on table for the employee, but actually there's nothing else. So this won't be there. They're not needed. Basically, the only thing that is meant to add for the employee is this adherence to deadline. Then any other thing that we when we that we think that we deem fit to be that's important to be there would be upgraded and then we have our clients. So on our client table now, on our client table, we have where we can add clients. We have the add clients endpoint. That's where we add clients. It's loading. Um, and this data up here, they are static. I would update them with something on our clients here. Something on our clients. Something on our client. So I don't know why this time it's taking low. It's taking a while to load. Um, Okay. Okay, so basically these are the information that we need from my clients. I have checked out other resources, other clients, other system like that. It's okay. What information? So basically, these are the basic informations that we need from our clients. The company's client rep name, the email, the organization, the phone number, the address, the state, the website of the company, the country, and the fax of the company, and admin of the clients. That's what we are doing for the admin of the client. Then also now if we go to the client details, if we go to client details now, if we go to client details, we can see the client details. Okay, we can see the company name, and then the client rep details, then the company details. We can see all that. Then we can see yeah, okay, total payments area. Let's go to okay, this client have actually not had any projects project I've spent. Let's go to this first client where I actually made all this input share details. show details. My system system becoming a bit slow. See. Okay, so here are the details. These are incomplete details, I think. First, this is the first client added, and some fields are added. So basically, this is what is on the database. That's why we're seeing all this information for the data. This is what is present on the database. Now we can also see payments that this client has made to us. This is the total amount we have made from this client. This is the total payments they've paid for us or for their project, payment for projects that we're handling for this client. This is the total amount of payment of all the projects that we've handled for this client. This is how much they've paid us. This is expenses, what we've spent on the projects for this client. This is invoices, what invoice that we have created for this client. And profit is what we have made off this client. Our profit from this client is that. So basically, we have all these details. So I think I also think of different things to add. I still have more of it. Yeah, okay, this is a static data, which we leave here also. So basically, that is okay, down to static, this thing. So basically, this is what we have. I've actually had what is it called again? With Mr. Patrick. We had a meeting yesterday evening when after he came back from the traveling. So I've actually demonstrated most of the system aspect with him. So it's just to check on for make observations and then implement them whatsoever we need to add is just to be implemented. Then also Kingdom Care. Okay, I'm just at that endpoint also ready. So so the next thing basically to do now on this project is to make okay, on my part is just to go through my code, check it out, make sure there are no typos, make sure there are no errors in calculations, make sure I'm implementing the right thing in the right places. It's just to just do a clean check on all the codes and see where. Then also to check for security vulnerabilities to avoid man-in-the-middle attack, avoid SQL injections. So basically that's what I'll be doing on my part. Then any other upgrade that is necessary for us to do once it's recorded, then I'll just implement the changes. So basically, this is the total. This is the completed. This is okay. Not like it's not fully complete, right? But like this is everything that is available on the system. So for further, listen. Thank you, sir.